Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the only sanctioned source of communist entertainment. Off here to a glorious 1v1. Oh, you guessed it is Taranto Coastline. In the east, we have the DexN fighting for Germany. Deutschland here with the 90th Panzergrenadiers shown here. Straight off the bat with a Kartschützen start. Fighting for the German army here has been tasked with von Kesseling. Actually, just Kesseling, to clear out the British forces here of the 1st Armoured Division under command here of Havoc. Fighting for the British Empire, the Commonwealth. Straight off here with a double separate start, Havoc course sent in by Monty to force his way through to Rome. Or at least somewhere in the vicinities they can claim a victory. Section following up here for Havoc. As always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued and generous support of the podcast. And a big thanks to those who keep commenting and liking my videos as well. They help out a bunch as well. So big thanks to all those wonderful and charming devils. Hard push north here to the DexN and to Deutschland. Bikes and Panzerpionier there rapidly advancing here through the northern streets. South side, we got a Panzergrenadier squad for DexN and the German army, the 90th Panzergrenadier shown, previously known as the 90th Light Infantry Division in North Africa. So, section out here for Havoc and the British Empire. So far, steady capture orders here from both sides. Bike busy, Panzerpionier busy, troops being forced with a mix of Sten guns and bolt-action rifles, and of course, a machine gun here on the bike. I believe that's an MG34, there could be an MG15. Rushing southwards here. While the German, of course, are most known for using the MG34 and the MG42, they would use a variety of light machine guns because they just couldn't get enough MG34s and 42s. So they'd have stuff like the MG15, the MG13, and series of captured light machines. Well, like for example, the Czechoslovakian ZB26 was also fairly used as well there. So, one of those fun facts. Section caught here, though, quickly retreating in the face of a Panzergrenadier squad on a bike here. Havoc, of course, quickly slices out. There's his section there is pretty much bent over, and rather than waste manpower pointlessly against the Germans, he withdraws and decides to fight again another day. So, thumbs up to Havoc. Up north, another clash inspiring here as the Panzerpionier are met by the sappers and the Sten guns. Second section coming up here, catching the Panzerpionier in quite a vice-like grip, forcing the DexN to withdraw there. He's got the Flanders on the way, though. In the south here, fresh wave of attacks now with two sections. Havoc, of course, is feeling much more confident in actual success here against the Germans. But, of course, quick to try and remind here Havoc not to get too cheeky. Third section on the way here. Havoc clearly not persuaded by now, but he's taking a lot of damage in the process. This is going to be a bit of an expensive fight, even if he does retain the munitions point. He will pay a bit of a price here, as DexN's men are proving to be fierce and formidable fighters. In the end, he is forced back, though. North here, another engagement. We got sappers closing the Panzergrenadiers. I think DexN's best bet, though, will probably to rush into the building here. Since if those sappers get close to the Panzergrenadiers, they will absolutely rip his Panzergrenadiers, well, apart. South side here, bike rushes northwards. Panzerpionier, more Panzergrenadiers out here for DexN. Up north here, there we go, being pursued into the building. No, he does not even go for the building, probably due to the flamethrower, which means getting stuck inside there would be an exceptionally, well, unhelpful move there for DexN's Panzergrenadiers' chances of continued survival. South side here, section almost wiped out. DexN strikes with the German army. Section are being forced back as well here. A lot of fighting here so far already. And up here, the Panzergrenadiers are beating the sappers. We've got the bike moving in as well here. And Havoc is forced to withdraw sappers. Would certainly be a waste to lose an upgraded sapper section. Particularly this early on to the match here. In the south here, fighting going on here. Panzerpionier, they're on health, but filled with faith in fatherland and, well, guns. Back here for Havoc, we got the platoon command post up already. DexN, I believe, is all taken up, though he's almost lost his Panzerpionier squad here. We do get the light support company of DexN. South here, British forces going for those Panzergrenadiers, those damn bloody Huns. And far up north here, sappers almost pulverized here by DexN. But looks like Havoc's holds out just for long enough here to avoid a total wipe. Fighting continuing here, sappers section pushing forwards here. Got a total of 3 sections, 2 sappers here for Havoc so far versus DexN. So far for DexN, we're not seeing much here otherwise. Probably just manpower bleeding here versus Havoc. Slightly prohibiting from going for what he wants, or perhaps he's planning fast tech here. It doesn't want to slow down. Certainly a few possibilities here that DexN could be pursuing versus Havoc, and let's pop over to DexN. No battle group chosen yet. And no sign of anything else really there so far either. Panzergrenadiers being met by the sections, veterans 1 in cover versus unit not in cover. That's definitely there. A argument for retreating here for DexN. Absolutely no hesitation here. Further up north though, DexN has managed to seek up some troops behind Havoc's lines there. Going for the fuel point there. Thumbs up to DexN. Nice aggressive flank. Yup, we do get the mechanized company here. So likely DexN's plan is to rush out the Armoured here versus Havoc. Of course, Havoc can then respond with anti-tank rifles, but that means he's then sacrificing some anti-infantry firepower versus the Panzergrenadiers. This could very well be part of DexN's plan then. Plus, of course, if he doesn't, the armored car's going to absolutely be riding all over Havoc's face. So, that definitely is going to present a bit of a challenge for him. Here we got nothing further here for Havoc, though we do have the field infirmary. Mechanized company up. We got armored support, superior fire drills, and vehicle awareness. He's absolutely going to be going for the Armoured here. Not a big surprise, and typically against the DAK is what you should expect most of the time from any DAK player, is they're going to be rushing the Armoured towards. You can see that already now. Havoc is going for anti-tank rifles, very much anticipating that Armoured. Of course, here, what DexN theoretically do, of course, is then not go for an Armoured. Of course, the question is, what does he then go for? But he could, like, seek out other paths here versus Havoc than the Armoured. Maybe just assault grenadiers or just a more infantry approach. That way, he could actually really punish Havoc here for going for anti-tank rifle section. But if he end up overcommitting to it, that could be extra harshly punished. But there you go in the south, we got the Humber out here. Armoured, they're almost done. Anti-tank section, they're forced back. The boys, anti-tank rifles. Certainly not very helpful against the German Panzergrenadiers. In the south, Humber there, ripping through the bike. Heading northern fuel points here. Havoc horses quick to sever the German fuel supply lines. Always a sensible move. Panzers for tank from both sides. A lot of DexN's men, though, are heavily wounded, and I do think for DexN, the priority really should be getting some healing going, because he's going to bleed a lot of manpower. Otherwise, I think it would be easily avoidable in the south. Humber, again, probing out the armored car. Or biking him on the south here. Armoured, they're going for the sappers. Scores a grievous wipe here in Havoc. Definitely going to hurt in the early game. And there might even be additional wipes as the armored car with the superior fire drills is capable of some immense amount of damage and is definitely something I expect to get nerfed. And there go combined with the flamethrowers here. Havoc has suffered not one but two wipes here in a matter of moments within the first 10 minutes of the match. This is brutal. And a very tough development here to come back from for Havoc. Not impossible, but it's going to require some serious legwork. This is a very strong development now here for DexN. Two wipes is really going to leave Havoc there, I think, quite weak, but also dissatisfied. We've got more sections to replace the losses. He could go for the Stuart light tank here as a counter to the Armoured. He could also go for more Humbers. We could also just try and hold out and tank ahead here over DexN. Push for some tanks. That is an option as well there. We'll have to see what he goes for. Finally got the ambulance there for DexN, because a lot of his men are in a quite horrific situation there, and a lot of them I think at a high risk getting wiped out. I do also note he's gone here for the veteran squad leaders upgrade. Thumbs up. Pretty much a must-have if you're going to go for any number of Panzergrenadiers besides like 2. Plus again against an opponent like going for anti-tank rifles on his sections. Having, just more tough infantry then is an excellent idea here. So thumbs up to DexN. I think he's definitely making the right choices there. Got mines down in the Schützenmine 42. Sappers advancing there. Anti-tanks is moving forward. So going to catch that Armoured here. Shots though missing. Very fortunate there for DexN. Armoured there being engaged by the Humber. Autocannon versus autocannon. Humber gets off the few first shots that actually pierce the Armoured's armor. We got mines here. Anti-tank section pushing northwards. We got the bike just hightailing out of there. And of course, you might be wondering why is he not sending the anti-tank sections after the Armoured, because it can just, dive out of there. So there's not really much of an incentive for Havoc to, immediately push after it. Particularly because he might also be expecting machine guns or mines to further cover, the Armoured's retreat here. So Havoc just pulls back, and he's actually trying to force the Armoured, I think, to pursue the sections instead. So tactically, what Havoc is doing here is actually really smart. Thumbs up to that. Of course, DexN, I think, is also playing it fairly smartly by not taking the bait there either. Of course, then runs into another anti-tank section, the Humber. But Cruiser's not like just trying to like dive in after this up north. The Archer, the pushback, heavily damaged here. Almost losing the Archer, but it is fairly durable and is able to escape here. South side, the DexN launches a fresh offensive with the 90th Panzergrenadiers shown. The line starting a Havoc was definitely focusing on the north now. We do get good cuts, which cause signals in the artillery. Apparently by far the most popular British battle group here. Providing, of course, the excellent Gurkhas. Elite and police infantry that still is used in the British Army today. Still see service, not usage. That makes them sound like they're tools. They're obviously, you know, a bit more than that. So my apologies there. But no, they still, you know, see service in the British Army today. And of course, you'll get a lot of other nice bonuses. Abilities. Gurkhas to go up close here. That said, without upgrades, they do struggle a bit versus veteran Panzergrenadiers with the bonuses here. Of course, once they get their guns, the Panzergrenadiers are going to have a much tougher time. Up north here, mine's going off here. Section, we could see another wipe on Havoc. In roughly 11 minutes, he's suffered 3 wipes so far here. We're not really like getting anything in return here on DexN. This is brutally for Havoc. I mean, he's replacing the losses. These are, yeah, now pretty tough losses to suffer. Of course, you can go for volunteer infantry now to help keep reinforcement costs down, which at this stage he's going to need. In fact, we can see though Havoc's plan is to rush ahead here. Pull ahead, probably maybe see some foot guards here, but likely Crusaders and Matildas here in response to what's going on there. I would say that's a very sensible move under everything considered here. There you go, Archer into their tank. I've got Hammer pushing forwards again here. Havoc wants that armored car down, come hell or high water. You do get the volunteer infantry ability to activate. Got smoke deployed here by the Archer, meaning he has gone for this whole package, I believe. Thumbs up to DexN. A few hits on the Marder 3 early model. There were a total of 3 models of the Marder 3, all based on the Panzer 38T. The only major difference, just like so saying the superstructure in the top, how it looked, and what guns they were manned with. The early one used converted sword guns, or sword anti-tank guns. The other one used basically Pack 40s. So, little fun fact there. So I'll start there, points being grabbed by the sappers. And of course, there's a total of 3 various Marder series, if you will. You had the Marder 1, the Marder 2, and the Marder 3. The Marder 2 is based off the Panzer 2 chassis, and the Marder 1s, I believe, are based off French tank chassis. Opposite tractor chassis, actually. Quick use there of the Mark area, their ability. Thumbs up to Havoc. He definitely, I imagine, wants some vengeance here. And there we go. We got the Bren guns on the Gurkhas, significantly boosting their firepower. And certainly making things more miserable here for DexN's Panzergrenadier. We almost got a wipe here. We got the Ark moving forwards, backed up by a lot of infantry. We got MD-34 now for DexN's infantry, significantly boosting their firepower here versus Havoc's Gurkhas. We got the Ayo Gurkhali, but they need to retreat there. Well, there's no amount of Gurkhalis that are going to save them from a grave. In fact, the wipes just continue to rain down upon the Havoc. And he's pushing in the armored car, the Humber. Frustrations clears it in there, and the Marder knocks out the Humber. A stinging blow here to Havoc, but he's got the Crusader 2 on the way here. He's betting everything on a cruiser tank to turn the tides, and certainly if there's any cruiser tank that could do it, that'd probably be the Crusader 2. With a good mixed rate of fire mobility there with its 2-pounder gun. Savage needs to withdraw here still. Havoc's got his work cut out for him, that's for sure. Absolutely cut out for him. Like, this is a brutal spot to be in for any player here. And DexN is just going for another afterguard here, feeling probably fairly confident in the way things are currently going. We got the Crusader tank out here, one of many cruiser tanks. For those wondering what is a cruiser tank, that is a British, well, doctrine term there. Cruiser is basically meant to like act as exploitation tanks, you know, infantry with infantry tanks. There's Matildas and Churchill tanks, breaks the line open. Then the cruiser tanks like meant to like break through and cause havoc, basically acting in a sense as cavalry. Fun fact there. As one of the ways British tank doctrine was a bit unique from everyone else, working with like lights, mediums, and heavies. And of course, they called it here medium tank, but technically the term was cruiser tank. In the south here, we got Savage pushing forward to the flamethrowers here. We got another Marder here from DexN in response here to Havoc's Crusader tank. Got the Archer there striking back, forcing them back. And of course, being cruiser tanks, thus exploitation tanks, of course, also like, very much put emphasis on speed. For example, the Crusader tanks, for example, had the same suspension as the T-34, the Christie suspension, which of course means they were very fast, but also really bumpy rides. They actually, in the case of the British tanks, actually tried to do as much as stabilize it with a variety of implementations, though the Surds never did that for the T-34s. But anyways, that's another story. Crusader tanks are being churned out here, definitely turning in the sense of that T-34 strategy, which is get a lot of cheap, fast, effective tanks here. Almost got the Panzer Pioneer here, so suddenly DexN is feeling a bit more pressured. Now it does have 2 Marders on a map where it's going to be somewhat difficult for Havoc to like fully utilize the speed and agility of the Crusader tanks. They're not impossible, plus he does have vehicle awareness, which makes it further difficult here for Havoc to like spring the trap on DexN, because thanks to vehicle awareness he's going to be, fairly aware as to where like, Havoc's going to flank in from. So Havoc's got like, his work cut out for him for sure. We got the Marders there, we got the Armoured shooting there through the cliffs. We've got a 6-pounder gun out here. Need to pull back the Crusaders for some most needed repairs here. Panzer's moving forwards here. Quick shot there. 6-pounder guns almost got the Armoured here, but the Marders almost got here. Havoc's Crusaders smoke deployed here. And there you go. Massive assault here from DexN. Forces there, Havoc's remaining infantry withdraws. Well, these pretty much almost colonized his base. Thankfully, though, for Havoc, DexN is not looking to cut off the resources here, giving Havoc, in a sense, a bit of a lifeline here, because he's not being denied, his fuel. He's not being denied munitions either. So, while the situation that Havoc is in is very uncomfortable, it's not an impossible situation either, because DexN is like too focused around here. It's a tough position for sure, but again, there's room to maneuver, and also crucially just room to like, not be completely overtaken here. We have 5 command points available. Meanwhile, we got here DexN for the Panzergrenadier command, bring up the bigger stuff here. I think that's a very simple move here by DexN. Got the anti-tank section moving eastwards. Finally, we can see that DexN realizing that maybe he should start grabbing the rest of the map. Their Marders is engaging, Armoured there, bumping into them. Watch for your driving! I can't see backwards. That's a lie. You know those Armoured have a reverse driver's position. Shut up. And yeah, the Armoured did actually have a reverse driving position here. Meaning like, in a pinch, the driver could just like switch positions and just drive the armored car backwards. The 234, there's the chassis the Puma based on, would also share this feature, and I believe the Italian Autoblinda 41, I think, armored car would also share this feature. Fun little fact there. Panzergrenadier command up here for DexN and Deutschland. We got, of course, the Stuka anti-tank Lloyd already. Panzer Pioneer moving forwards here, lining up for more assaults against Havoc. But that said, there's a bit of slap hiccup here for DexN, because nice focus up north. Havoc is breaching in here, perhaps hoping to draw DexN to a less favourable engagement. Clearly, DexN was expecting Havoc to move into defend here, but Havoc pretty much undercut DexN, and instead is just driving straight into DexN's base. A bold counterattack here. Brutally efficient. It's risky, of course, but I can see the logic in it. I absolutely can. Like, it's just like, okay, my opponent's expected to attack this direction, so I'm going to attack in the one direction he doesn't expect, which is his base. And he takes out the ambulance. That is 2 thumbs up there to Havoc. Don't you guys, these Englishmen are idiots. They're gonna attack into our guns and we will defeat them. Herr Oberleutnant, yeah? They're attacking our base and destroying our ambulances. What? What are they, Americans? 3rd Crusader tank out for Havoc. So, of course, now DexN, of course, is forced to respond to all this as base. They have air support and everything else there. He did lose a section, which is not great for Havoc, but he's kind of like managed to sow chaos and confusion now within DexN's ranks here. And it's forcing most of the troops now to retreat here, so, I mean... yeah, this is quite an interesting move there. Really, I think, a bit ingenious there for Havoc. And definitely not a move I think most players would have made there. So, need to repair stuff there, of course, on both sides. And of course, he needs to grab some more points. We've got 345, 236. Talking about our stuff about tests on the DAK Loiter, which I imagine at some points could get nerfed. Hopefully in the July patch, or probably in the August patch. See, archive being fixed up. Marder fees, they need repairs. Yeah, Havoc, though, I think needs infantry here. Either some Gurkhas or maybe some foot guards. Another ambulance there for Dex. No Panzer 3s as of yet. Standing in the Armoured northwards, Mardus remaining reserve. Of course, now he's concerned that Havoc's going to make a push towards his base, which of course where then Havoc then pushes northwards. Vickers opening up the advancing Panzers, catching it. DexN's forces in a bit of a cross or deadly storm of fire there. Now we got those Crusaders move once more for Havoc and the British Empire. Back to Havoc. Good shot from the 6-pounder guns here on the Armoured. Mardus moving forwards here. Crusaders charging in here. Of course, need to be careful not to come in too far here. There we go. Almost got on the Armoured here. But one of his Crusaders about to burst into flames. Smoke deployed here. Panzer they're pinned down. Pushing with Crusaders here. DexN keeping up. Trying to keep Perseus. There we go. Pushing through the smoke. One Crusader goes from flames. Armoured down. But now the Marders themselves are in a bad position as they're already heavily damaged. And the Crusaders, they do have a good amount of damage. There goes 6-pounder gun joining in. There's down to just one Marder here in a matter of moments. Havoc has completely changed the face of this game. And now suddenly DexN has no anti-tank, was actually forced to go for another Marder in front of the Crusader. And Havoc dives his Crusader into DexN's space. He's going to take out another ambulance, isn't he? Yes. Oh dear. Half health, in fact less than that here I think on the ambulance. Almost got it, no snares here from DexN by the looks of it. Second ambulance down. Trying to destroy the mechanized company. Marder's almost done. I think he needs to pull back here. Like, he needs to be careful because, like, DexN again research these grenades. His tank could be, like, snared inside of his own base with a damaged engine. There we go. Marder has appeared. Engage the Crusader head on. Crusader hits back here. Havoc seems to have slightly lost it. But he's trying to repair that. Takes massive losses while repairing the tank. That's definitely got to be a misclick there from DexN. But now we got the Crusader hightailing out of there. A brutal engagement. Kinda nutty too. Heading north to recapture terrain. The DexN is getting a lot of fuel, but the manpower losses right now, in part because of his confrontational gameplay style, he rather means he's not able to like push for any tanks right away, and of course he keeps losing ambulances, which is, you know, a bit fairly expensive to have to keep replacing.
We're losing a victory point.
Well, it's gotta be a bit difficult to convince new ambulances to keep coming if they just gonna like pile up like that. So, that's a sad pile of burning ambulances over there. That's, art. Says dead ambulance drivers sticking out of it. British art. Now the Crusader here for Havoc. We got the foot guards out. Thumbs up. Thompsons with drum magazines and bazookas. That's going to be a further challenge here for DexN. So in here the Panzergrenadiers. Forcing back those damn bloody Huns. Vickers moving up here. Up in far north here. We got the anti-tanks going to be attacked with the Panzers ace level versus 6-man Panzers with an MD-34. It's not looking great here for the tank hunter section for sure. Now the Crusader ready here for Havoc though, and the 1st Armoured Division. 90th Panzergrenadiers shown there, still reeling after losing most of its tank destroyers and several ambulances. North here, the Panzers are definitely being the sections. Got the Crusaders rushing in it, backed up by sappers. Havoc there comes blazing in for the British Empire. Shots firing all across here. German forces in a wild retreat here, as they lack any tools to stop here the armoured fist of the British Empire. Far south here, second wave of attacks. You got Panzergrenadiers, not all fully upgraded, but they are getting upgraded versus the foot guards here. Foot guards down to 4-man. Probably do get a light gun bomb here. Not that's really anything like a light or heavy in a sense, like basically the gun bomb, light or heavy is basically the same concept. It's a small pouch that can be filled up with plastic explosives, and then you like just chuck it and it explodes on contact. Basically it's just the difference like how much plastic explosives do you chuck in it. It's primarily used I think by commander troops. So a little fun fact there. We do finally get a Panzer here for DexN and the German army. Deutschland. We got 168 versus 316. North the points being seized. Mines as well here, very good by Havoc. Points being seized. And there you go, Panzer III ready here for DexN and the 19th Panzergrenadier Division. 5th Panzergrenadier Company, Panzer moving forwards. Biggest ripping into them, 6-pounder gun opening up here in the Panzer III in a moment. There we go. Right through the frontal armor. Entertainment Live joining in the fun as well here. Crusaders also converging in the south here. Panzers moving forwards. Anti-tank Lives keep punching through the Panzer III's armor. There you go, Crusaders joining in here now as well. There, Martyrs joining in, and we got air support as once more. DexN slams the button, calls to the Luftwaffe here to halt the British advance of the 1st Armoured Division. Crusader tank there explodes as the Stukas rip through there. Foot Guards are going to flank it here, and DexN's very much pushing back here. Havoc from the southern victory point. British forces forced to withdraw here. Panzer then engaged with the Foot Guards and the Vickers further up north. As well, Havoc making great progress, even if he's not making too much in the south. There's always the north. And we got a 3rd ambulance here for DexN. A 3rd one. Definitely not every match you see that high ambulance casualties within sight of the base. Panzer is pushing northwards here. Sappers busy at work. We got more mines here from Havoc. Thumbs up. Will Havoc go for more Crusaders, Foot Guards? Will he go for something bigger? We got more Gurkhas out here for Havoc. Not bad choice at all. Going for that, pushing for that northern victory point. We got Sappers a good flank here. Panzer III setting out. DexN will definitely need more Panzer IIIs for sure. He could, in theory, like also try and, like, you know, go for the big stuff now, but that would, I think, be fairly risky under everything considered. But it's something he theoretically could consider. Mines going off here, blowing apart Ludwig, Heinz, and Jürgen. Another Panzer III for DexN, 19th Panzergrenadier Division. Got those Gurkhas pushing forwards here. No upgrades yet here for Havoc's men. Crusaders moving up here. More shots being fired at the Panzer III. Section 8 under just 1 man each withdraw here before DexN's Panzergrenadiers turn them into mincemeat. More troops being fed into the southern engagement here, even as the north side is kind of forgotten here on both sides. Foot Guards now part of the offensive. To throw back the German attack here. Panzer III right around the corner here for DexN. Panzer Pioneer, Panzer the big force back here, taking too much damage from Havoc. Back at base, we do get another Crusader. There you go, 2nd Panzer ready here for DexN and Deutschland. Victory points wise, DexN continues to enjoy the lead here over Havoc, at least for now. As Havoc now controls more victory points and is slowly bleeding out DexN. Far up north though, DexN's been good progress here, taking advantage of Havoc's southern hard focus in the south to just make steady progress in the north. Thumbs up here to DexN. Excellent tactical awareness there. Panzer III's looking a bit southward city with the Foot Guards there. Could also be planning to set up for a bigger flank here against Havoc. Maybe sort of swing up through here and then get up behind here perhaps. Far up northwest here, Crusader leading a counterattack here for the 1st Armoured Division. B Company forcing back here. DexN's Panzergrenadiers, they're definitely not equipped for that. 2nd Crusader joining in here now as well. Panzer III's been back northwards. Marder likely also going to be joining in here. Vickers versus Panzer Pioneer. Messy engagements here all around. No, still no grenades here for DexN. I suspect he's just focusing so much in the Stuka anti-tank Lloyd. He doesn't want to spend munitions and much else we can avoid it. Panzer III's bringing through the Vickers. We got a 6-pounder gun running coming fire here. We could see one of the Panzer III's here for DexN go down. Didn't even deploy smoke here. Better know side perhaps. Crusaders pushing forward here. Marder there being rushed down here by the Crusaders. Attacking from 2 sides, it's a pincer there, and DexN's Marder is way out of bounds and gets destroyed here by Havoc. Beautiful counterattack here, Panzer III's counterattacking, but the situation for them is looking pretty hazardous. DexN, though, not too far away from another Panzer III here. I suppose some more Marders. Fixing up those Panzerkampfwagens. Up north here, Crusaders at the ready. Further up north here, British Sappers advancing. Could lay down some more mines here to slow down any of DexN's maneuvers. Those Panzergrenadiers move once more for the fatherland. Panzergrenadiers good to go. And we're back to Havoc.
We're down to 200 points.
200 points left, and that fact less than that. 158, there's 187. Panzergrenadiers pushing forward, catch them footcast on the flank. We got the Panzer moving northwards here. Crusaders, though, on the spot already. Not too far away from another Crusader. You could, of course, all try for Matildas, but at this point, I would more likely expect Grants. At least personally, I'd go for Grants here. Meanwhile, DexN going for the Stukas first, needing some rocket to dig out. Havoc here from the hills. Foot guards there, being met with the fires of the Third Reich. Here is forced back down to 2 men low on health. In the south, Vickers here, and Tank Hunter section caught in a deadly crossfire from 2 MG-34 wielding Panzergrenadier squads, ripping through Havoc's men there like they're made out of toilet paper. Up north here, Sappers versus the Panther Fleet. Crusaders slightly disengaging here, not wishing to tango with those Panther Fleets. In the south, 6 Panther Gun here is just kind of watching, and the foot guards on the move, finally getting those equipped with the Bren guns. Meanwhile, the Stukas Fuss is around the corner here for DexN and Deutschland. There you go, the Stukas Fuss. Basically just a half-track mounting a series of Wurfrahmen or throwing frames. Basically just wooden crates with a massive rocket inside, which could just fire and then could just like put on some new crates on it. They took by being a Panzerdivision's Panzerpionier Abteilung, or later on in Panzer Brigades. Fun fact. And the frames themselves were like, you know, highly utilitarian, full of utility, and could be used like, you know, fired from the ground, like sort of like a static Nebelwerfer. And to use it in a variety of places, of course, they'd also mount them like stuff like the Hotchkiss tanks. So, yeah, rather neat thing there. Good because they're pushing forward, but into East Panzergrenadiers with the MG-34 and heavy cover. We do get a grenade assault here. Fistfuls of Mills bombs here against DexN's Panzergrenadiers. Need to withdraw the Gurkhas. Up north here, Pantherfish counting against the Sappers here. They could get a white P if DexN or Havoc is unlucky, or DexN's lucky, and down they go. Brutal punish here for Havoc. Ruthlessly so. Panther facing towards the center now. Catching the ace tank on a section there in a deadly volley there. Being poor games, they're quite dead. Probably should withdraw these Gurkhas though, they're low on health. Now they're also really low on men. I don't think there's much point having these Gurkhas keep fighting. Up north here, foot guards with anti-tank section and anti-tank support pushing back here. DexN's Panther Fleets, but in the south, the assault is still keeping up here, but the Vickers is definitely looking to make a mess of it, and Havoc is committing tanks here to the counterattack. Foot guards all being sent in here, clearly concerned about this development. 129 versus 163. Base level Vickers. That's definitely bad news here for DexN's men. Almost got them white. We got a third Crusade out here as well for Havoc. And once more support. Plus a Sturmkasse first. DexN going all in here, almost wiping out Havoc's ace machine gun. Close call there. Crusader tanks there in, well, not really need repairs. Troops enforcing healing. North side, not really seeing much action there. We can see the Havoc might be sneaking in some forces to grab points there as well once more. We got 114 versus 163. Panzer Fleets moving up. Into the 6-pounder gun. At this point, I'm starting to suspect Havoc will not be going for grants, which person says a bit of a shame, but that said, the Crusaders are quite efficient tanks. It's not like I blame them. We're just wanting to stick with those. Meanwhile, another British assault here, head on again, right into a waiting wall of firepower here from DexN and the 90th Panzergrenadier, making short work here of Havoc's men as they just trudge across no man's land like it's a repeat of the Battle of the Somme. Crusaders hanging back here, Panzerpionier and Panther pushing forward, Panther Fleets men reserve here. If DexN can remove the anti-tank crew here, Panther Fleets could get a bit more aggressive. We got another Panther Fleet in the way. Others being pushed back here though. Fierce fighting continues, and up far up north here, Havoc is hitting DexN's northern points. Thumbs up. Panzerpionier there being slaughtered by the Crusaders. This is just a ruthless engagement. Brutal. Panzer Pioneer, they're getting wiped out. All in an attempt to get that Vickers wiped in return. And now the Crusaders just pushing back the Panzergrenadiers as well here. Both sides clearly looking to build up significantly large tank forces here. We'll have to see if we actually get some platoon level engagements. They were like, well, platoon sized engagement, 5 tanks on each side there. That would be pretty neat. So that is 3 Panzer IIIs versus 3 Crusaders. Crusaders heading northwards here. All Crusader IIIs there. But the Panzer IIIs in the pursuit themselves, they could flank the Crusaders, leaving Havoc in a bit of a tough spot. There we go, going for it. Flanking the Crusaders, see it. Veterans 1. Still no grenades, I think, from DexN. Really feels like an oversight. Crusaders there trying to get away. Shots flying all over the place here. But the Crusaders are much faster than the Panzer IIIs, so even if they are no match directly, they can at least just get away from the Panzer IIIs. Far south here, Gurkha's being attacked by 2 Panzergrenadier squads, both ace level, both 6-man. Well, used to be, and of course both the machine guns.
We're losing a strategic point.
Back to DexN, we got 94 versus 142. Tiller strike raining down here, direct hit on the Vickers team. He almost wiping out here with the Stukas of us. Down to 1 man with 10 points of health left. Super close to have Havoc. Good, because they probably should consider the plan for getting out of there before they get utterly murdered here by DexN. Foot guards joining in, Veterans 1 close to 2, but the Panzer IIIs are using them for target practice. And those assaults are very promising for the Panzer crews, not much the foot guards. Like a base here. We got more sappers there for Havoc. Clearly needs more to repair his tanks faster and more consistently. North here, tank hunter section being engaged by the Panzer IIIs. Could get a white here on Havoc if he's not careful. As for DexN, he's not too far away from another Panzer III, to be honest. I suppose we could also go for another Stukas of Fuss. Or try and push for the Armoured reserves. Maybe go for a Stuka assault group. Crusaders are again getting the Panzer III. DexN's tank just below a bit, giving Havoc a bit of a chance to actually knock out one of them fast here. And there you go. Shots bouncing or failing to hit here. There you go. Got the Panzer III, got the Luftwaffe strike again here. Ripping through one of the Crusaders like it's made out of hot starch. And there goes second Crusader down here. That was definitely a horrifying development there for Havoc. I mean, he did almost take out 2 Panzer IIIs, and he had taken out 2 Panzer IIIs. That would have been certainly a little less awful here for Havoc. Stukas was barrage here, another massively voluminous load of rockets being unleashed against Havoc and the 1st Armoured Division. Big as the ready to see any German troops head on. Continuing at it with the Panzer III here. 6 Panzer gun trying to join in. Almost got the Panzer III here. Panzergrenadiers there forcefully withdrawn here. North side, still not really seeing a lot of action. Pushing in with foot guards in there into tank gun. Oh, need to withdraw the foot guards now. I think they're taking too much damage here from DexN. Close call though. Very close call. Got the Gurkhas and sections of the Panzergrenadier. Another Panzer III here for DexN. Got 114 versus 85. Heading north at sea, straight into the Panzer IIIs again. Those Gurkhas definitely need to get out of there before they get pulverized. Just a waste of manpower with that engagement, honestly. Another push forward into the Vickers. This time the note he's spending has been more broadly, so the machine can't easily halt both squads as effectively. Thumbs up to DexN. Tactically very solid move there. That means, of course, he needs to pay attention a lot and shift targets to ensure one doesn't get unsuppressed, and then pulls up the machine and moves it. Now the Panzer ready for DexN. North side still could be more active there from DexN. Arguably could also be more active there from Havoc. 101 versus 85 here. Another rocket strike here from the Stukas of Fuss. Almost destroyed the 6 Panzer gun crew, but they do survive, and the Panzer IIIs falls back. Sappers, though, are being absolutely murdered here out in the open. Now the Panther Fleet's lacking for counterattack here on the Crusaders' flank. We do have the anti-tank covering up here. Do you have any more tanks on the way here? The answer to that so far would appear to be no. Panther Fleet still at it. Enforcing healing here for DexN. 98 versus 85. Remains an overall pretty close and intense match here between these two players, as neither player is giving in. And Havoc, I mean, is really like staging a hell of a comeback there from a very rough start to suffering so many wipes. Panther Fleet flanking in here. There we go. Havoc might have extended with anti-tank guns here, opening up for the Panther Fleet to push in. But that said, DexN doesn't push in here. This is a massive win here for Havoc. The DexN did say just push Panzer Storm, get behind the anti-tank, and then swing at the Crusader. That could have been a GG moment there for DexN. But thankfully, in fact, he stops up and actually loses one of his Panther 3s here. That was a really unfortunate call there for Havoc. He does lose the anti-tank and crew now, but again, this could have been over there for Havoc. Instead, now, there might be a chance for Current Fancy takes out 2 Panther 3s. So when he loses this Crusader now, this is so much better for Havoc than, again, just DexN charging on the Panzer Storm, wreck the anti-tank, and then wreck the Crusader. Because he could have done that with a Panzer Storm push. Also, we're not really seeing, like, battlefield salvage, which could have provided with extra resources to really just close out the match. We do get what looks to be an artillery calling here by Havoc. Yep, airburst sheltering down from above. Almost got the Panther 3 here. Loses the Crusader just as he gets it. Machine gun wiped out. Men being slaughtered here, and that is appears to be a mass retreat here from DexN. We got the Stukas first firing into the advancing troops here. DexN hoping to get lucky in every rocket. It's misangled, and he only loses a single Gurkha. That's got to be a real feels rubbish moment there for DexN. Havoc, though, seizes upon this opportunity. This slacking of DexN's line at such a critical moment. He just pours in there. Crew support weapons as well there. Thumbs up to Havoc. Rushing through here. Got the punch counter into the foot guards here. Rushing north to the section. The Gurkhas here. Pushing for those 3 victory points here. DexN needs to reorganize. He needs to counterattack. Schnell here. North here. Foot guards about to get wiped out. Need to get those out of there as well. He might be home to buy time, but losing I think would be very bad here for Havoc. Could be a moment of no return. At least they're able to recover from it. He does lose them. Brutal. Great kill here for DexN. But now Havoc's almost got all 3 sponsors in control here. He can buy for time, and he might be able to beat out DexN here. And again, this is also where Dex might get punished for not pushing with these victory points up north. So we've got 71 versus 66. The bleed is on. Another Crusader here for Havoc. Panther Fleet's pulling force. Backed up a Panzer Pioneer. Sec's about to get wiped out here. Needs to retreat them. He's not retreating. He could pop smoke here with the foot Gurkhas. Has he forgotten about them? Is he stressed out or something? I don't know. Smoke deployed there. He's still not doing the sex. We got the... Yeah, he's pushing for the point. We got airburst shells deployed here. We got 42 versus 71 here. He's trying to kill the Gurkhas in the smoke. Another Panther 3 here for DexN. Got 33. Like, Havoc has pretty much realized how this match is going. He's just willing to sacrifice anything at this point for more time. Anything. 24 points left here. 21. 18. Panzer Pioneers to the Vickers. 6 Panzer coming flanked by the Panzergrenadiers. We got 14 points left. Almost got the Panzer squad here. DexN is also willing to sacrifice, I think, because he's got next to no victory points left. There you go. Throwing away the tank just to get a wipe on the section. You would not see this under any other circumstance. That's being defensible, but here it makes sense because Havoc's got nothing else left now. He just needs to win this match. He's pouring everything onto the point here. DexN is trying to get to the points, and Havoc is just... Oh god, we got 3 points left here. 2 points left. 1 point left. Ah! And there you go. He did it. He did it. He won. He actually won. With a hell of a win. They're just running across the finish line while on fire. He wins. Whew, that was close and absolutely intense. An incredible match. It was in great place on both sides, but there's definitely some slip-ups here and there. And I feel like both sides focus too much in the south, which is a bit of a common occurrence on Taranto Coastline. The players will end up focusing too much on the south side of the map when they should be focusing more on the north. And I definitely think this is where DexN definitely missed out a bit. They could have done more to pressure. Havoc, of course, Havoc could have done more there as well. So that's, I think, an oversight there as the match with all of both players could have rectified there, but still Havoc really came back from an incredibly tough start. I think few players could have really managed to bounce back from some incredibly well played by Havoc. So I hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. You can also support the Propagandacast by donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the description. This is Imperial Links. Cheers and thank you all for watching. See you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye everyone.